It's usually common kapag New Year, we usually set our goals and plans para sa buong taon. So for today's video, I'm gonna be sharing to you different business ideas that you can consider for 2023. Specifically, I'll discuss muna what are the factors that you should consider when planning or choosing a business for this year. I'll share also exact types of businesses that you can start with, especially if you have less money for capital. So if you're interested with that, then keep on watching. So for us to understand bakit importante yung mga specific factors that I'll be sharing that you should consider when you choose a business for this year is that let's try to look back 2 to 3 years ago, 2020. Ano bang nangyari sa taon na 2020, specifically March of 2020? It was when the world was being paused by a pandemic. That year was totally different and difficult for entrepreneurs. And diba, tayong mga entrepreneurs, when there are difficult situations, we try to find what are the things that we should take note para hindi maulit, lessons that we need to learn, para if mangyari siya ulit, it would be a lot easier. So, here are the factors that you need to consider when you want to start a business this year. Unang-una, yung revenue model or the way ka kikita must not be solely based on foot traffic or hindi siya based talaga sa mga taong pumupunta sa store mo. Because if based mo lang siya sa foot traffic and what if the restrictions with the pandemic would now rise again, baka mahirapan kang i-maintain yung sales mo kasi na baka bumalik yung time na bawal lumabas, right? Another is you should leverage on social media and other free online marketing tools. Social media is free. There are different social media platforms now. You just have to identify saan ba doon yung mga customers mo usually nagtatambay. Facebook ba, Instagram ba, TikTok ba, and all else. And walang bayad na mag-register ka sa mga social media platforms. When you post content, walang bayad yon, right? It would only be paid if you would be using ads. However, simply posting and creating a page for your account can already drive in sales to your company. So, kung noon, okay lang na magbukas ka ng negosyo and wala kang social media and wala kang Facebook, Instagram, or even website. Ngayon, after the pandemic, parang hindi na siya mag-work. During the pandemic, only those businesses na naging ready, na meron ng Facebook account, meron ng Instagram, meron ng website, they were the ones who were able to continue operating kahit na there were already restrictions by the IATF. And of course, when you leverage for your social media, when you create already pages, make sure then that you somewhat automate your ordering system and your booking system. So, hindi yung ikaw lahat, hindi yung manual lahat. Because there already are a lot of ways to automate them. Just like in Facebook Messenger, there's already an option to create frequently asked questions. Or let's say you are providing services, professional services. There are already different apps that you can automate your calendar. Again, make use of those that are free so it would be less stressful to operate your business. And another factor is if you don't have money to start for a business or huge capital for a business, opt to start small. And there are different ways to start small and also different types of businesses that you can begin even if konti lang yung money mo for capital. So, ito na yung mga different kinds of businesses that you can consider for 2023, especially if you have less money for capital. So, let's start with, unang-una of course, virtual services. So, naging uso na ngayon yung mga freelancing. And how is freelancing as a job and as a business different? So when you say as a job, meaning you go to different freelancing websites and you apply for a job there. However, when you say freelancing business, you consider yourself as the boss and you are the one looking for clients. So with the freelancing business, is you will be able to dictate the work that you will be receiving and then also dictate on the number of times or hours that you will be working in a day, and of course, you can control din naman your pay if you are able to set that with your clients. Question, meron ba talagang mga clients na magbibigay ng let's say $10, $15 per hour? Of course, there are. Another type of business that you can consider is coaching and consulting services. So most especially if you already have the knowledge and the experience in a specific field or professional ka in one thing, you can actually teach people also how you do things and how to make things better based sa experience mo. However, number one lang talaga na problem with coaches and consultants is they might have that imposter syndrome. So parang yung feeling mo you don't deserve to coach or be a consultant kasi hindi mo alam lahat. Just remember lang na hindi mo kailangan alamin lahat for you to be able to help people, no? It's enough that you already know specific things, you already have that knowledge on that specific field. Then remember lang kung sino yung mga ideal clients mo. So you will have that imposter syndrome if you would want to try to serve everybody. Next would be online tutorials. So ito, you can actually do this part-time, especially if you already have a full-time job and then you have free hours in the evening or perhaps during the weekend, then you can look for your tuties online. So, pwede mo din siyang gawing as a job. You look for different websites na for online tutorial or ikaw mismo yung maghahanap ng client. So, the same din sa freelancing, would that be a job or as a business din? Ang advantage lang is if ikaw yung maghahanap ng client, you'll be able to dictate your rate. Kasi sa mga websites, usually there are already rates based on the job na in-applyan mo. So, with the online tutorial, hindi naman kailangan ikaw yung pinakamatalinong tutor, di ba? So, if you'll be teaching grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, then it's just enough that you know more than those kids. So, the same thing with coaching and consulting. Hindi kailangan ikaw yung maging super god at alam mo lahat. You just have to be few steps or few chapters ahead of a book. Next would be subscription services. So, pwede siya actually for face-to-face. I have thought about grocery subscription or food delivery service subscription. So instead of, I know we already have Grab and Food Panda, but if you try to make it easier for them na they'll book you for 1 whole month, ikaw bahala sa grocery nila, ikaw bahala sa food nila, then that would be easier for your clients, right? And I believe there would be customers who would be willing to pay that service. So if you are a good cook, meron kang talent sa pagluluto, then you can have that specific type of subscription service business. Pwede din laundry kasi I believe there are still people, I know there are a lot of laundry shops already, pero merong mga naghahanap ng hand wash. So if you really love hand washing laundry, why not? Diba? It's a crazy idea, but I believe that would still have a market. Now, if you try to look into those businesses na na-mention ko, it's more of service. So the advantage kasi when you have a service business is you don't have to shell out money for capital, for your inventory, for your equipment, etc., etc. Because you would be using your own knowledge, your skills, your experience, and also your passion. Now, I think I have a video here how I was able to turn my passion into a business, and if you might be interested in knowing my story as a wedding coordinator, you can check this video here. Now, I'm not saying naman na hindi na pwede yung mga physical businesses. You can actually still do that, but make sure lang na you're ready to shell out money for capital para sa inventory mo. Kasi 'di ba, it's more or less, if it's merchandising, you buy the merchandise and then you sell it at a markup, or if that would be manufacturing or service business na with regards sa food, or meron siyang production, you have to buy the raw materials, the inventory, and then you have to hire people to do the job and incur a lot of overhead. So just make sure lang you're ready for that one. My advice lang to those who would have a physical type of business or anything that they sell in physical, if you want to start small muna, less money for capital, start muna na home-based. And then just leverage on the social media platforms. So let's say if you want to sell coffee online and you're not ready for the physical store cafe kasi medyo magastos, so you can start selling coffee at home and just post your menu online and look for your customers there. And this type of business actually ito yung nag-work during the pandemic, diba? If you could remember, there were a lot of restaurants na nag-close. And most of those restaurants na hindi pa ready yung mga delivery services nila and hindi pa akma sa system nila na they would have takeouts, they had a hard time adapting. But then there were a lot of, I believe there's really an entrepreneurial spirit, no, sa mga Filipinos, because there are a lot of people selling already different food during the pandemic. And there were a lot of stories na yung business na yon lumago and they were able to build a home, or perhaps if cafe na home-based, they were able to make already a physical store cafe with that one. And overall, anything na home-based talaga would work for 2023. Most especially if you would try to equip yourselves with the digital marketing. Now, if you know our story, the Mezzanine Cafe, nung pandemic, on how we were able to still gain sales, even if close kami, is that we moved back and scaled into a home-based type of business. And we share that story to all our students and trainees that joins our face-to-face training and also who joins my online program. So if you're interested to learn with me, especially on the online marketing side, kasi yun talaga ang nagpa-push sa aming cafe, that's why we were able to gain customers even if we are online, you can check out my online program here, Small Coffee Business Academy. You would know that the academy is open if merong enroll now. Or if enrollment is closed, there's a waitlist. So just make sure you leave your email in the waitlist kasi if there are limited time offer enrollments, magsisend kami ng email sa inyo so you can also join. Now, if you want to know more about small coffee business, check out this playlist of videos here. And I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.